All right. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin Doherty, and you are watching The Spirit of Money. This video is about how to increase your income and create financial freedom using the power of your own mind. And I'm going to give you three very practical but very powerful steps to do exactly this. So, first of all, I just want to say I am so grateful that you are here watching this with me right now. I intend for this video to literally transform your life. So, if you found money to be a source of pain in your life, a source of stress or limitation, I definitely feel like you're in the right place. A lot of this is not only coming from a very deep personal journey with this material, but I've had the good fortune of literally helping thousands of people integrate these three steps into their life and see just amazing results. So, with that said, I have a lot of great content to cover for you. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. Let's make sure you're in the right place. Who is this for? Well, it's very simple. It's for anyone who is sick and tired of financial struggle, mediocrity, or limitation. So, if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, obviously money is an important factor in your business. You're definitely in the right place if you want to make more of it and have it come to you in an easier fashion than maybe it has in the past. Maybe you're an employee and you're in a career right now that isn't really serving you, or you like what you do, but you're just not making enough money doing it. Or maybe you're unemployed and you're just trying to figure out what comes next in your life and how to ease your money worry and actually tap into a higher state of abundance and flow in your life so that money can actually be a source of joy for you rather than burden. So, in any of those scenarios, you're definitely in the right place. Okay, so here's the truth: money keeps most people in a mental prison with a life sentence. Money is used as a primary example in our modern world of why people can't make it, why they can't achieve their dream, why they are limited, why they need to be stuck in fear. This video is designed to help you out of that matrix of mediocrity, as I call it, that feeling of being enslaved by money. It is not fun. I was there for many, many years in my life. I know exactly how it feels. It can be a major source of depression, of anxiety, of even like despair in your life. So let's fix that, shall we? So let's jump into these steps. But first, I want to ask you, does any of this sound familiar? I'm sure some of this will resonate with you. You keep experiencing the same financial reality year after year, no matter how hard you try to break free from it. You might switch jobs a lot, you might switch businesses, you might try new things in your business or your work, but the same amount of money more or less keeps showing up year after year. Or maybe you have these just constant cycles of ups and downs, and it just feels like some years are great and some years are terrible. And you just feel like that's the recurring pattern. But you notice there are indeed recurring long term patterns with money that do not serve you. Money is a continual source of stress and worry. Once again, no matter how hard you try to fix it, how many other things in your life are going quite well, money is kind of like the one main thing you're like, damn it, man, if I could just get that right, life would be so good. Life would feel so good. Very, very common. Money has caused problems in your health or relationships. So, as you know, money problems aren't just about money, they ripple into every other aspect of your life. Financial problems are definitely the number one cause of divorce. Money problems are definitely tied to our health and well-being. Many people who have stress-related illness, it's directly caused by their financial issues. So this is a major, major life theme that unfortunately keeps people in bondage year after year. And the good news is it's totally unnecessary. There is absolutely a way out of it, and I want to show you what that is. Okay, so deep down, you kind of wonder, like, what the heck is really going on here? Have you ever found that, like, to be the case for yourself? You're just like kind of stepping out of your situation sometimes, and you're like, well, what is really going on here? What is the cause of this? Why is it so hard to become prosperous? Why is money a constant problem? And you find yourself just scratching your head, not really sure what the answer is. And that alone can be a source of stress and depression and anxiety. You're just like, well, what is the solution? I'm not sure if there is one. And yeah, you wonder if there is an actual solution to this money quandary in your life. Well, yes, there is a solution. There absolutely is. But first, you must understand the real problem. You have to identify the core issue here in order to clarify the solution. It makes sense, right? The truth is, most people chase symptoms. They chase around the byproducts of this deeper core issue, and that is why they never solve their financial troubles. The real problem is not any of the following. It is not the economy. It is not the political situation. It is not your level of intelligence. It is not your degrees, qualifications, or profession. It is not your worthiness. And it is not how hard you work or how lazy you are, anything like that. These are not the core problems that are causing money to feel like a source of limitation or struggle in your life. So I want you to take that in. What most people do, like I said, is they chase around the symptoms. They're dwelling on the surface of this issue, and there's something deeper going on that they have not really addressed in their life. And that's why money continues to show up in the exact same way that it does. And I want to say once again, this used to be me. I'm speaking directly from my firsthand experience, and I've seen it for so many of my clients over the years as well. I'll get more into my story here in just a little bit, but let's go ahead and keep moving forward. These are all just symptoms. The core problem is this: the way your mind is wired right now. That is it. That is 100% of what is causing your current money situation. If you want a new financial reality, you must rewire your brain. It's as simple as that. Nothing else works. And believe me, I have tried everything in my life. And I'm coming from a pretty rich spiritual background. Like, I've tried so many meditation practices. I've worked with so many different techniques and worked with all kinds of mentors and coaches out there. The only thing that actually works to change your financial reality is to rewire your mind. It's really as simple as that. Until you do this, you will feel trapped in the same limited financial life, no matter how hard you try to break free. And I'm going to reiterate this. This is not about efforting your way to success. You've already tried that most likely, and you've already experienced that it comes up short. It's not the real solution. And all it really does is get you temporarily excited and full of like motivation and willpower. And then it comes crashing down and you're back in the same reality over and over again, and you start banging your head against it, and it feels really frustrating. And you're looking at your bank account, you're looking at your debt, you're looking at your business revenue, and you're like, what the heck, man? I'm trying so hard to fix this. I've tried so many self-help techniques even. I've tried to hire coaches and mentors. Like, nothing is really working. Why is that? Well, your brain is wired for your current financial situation. It truly is as simple as that. Taking inspired action is very important. I just want to throw that in here as a kind of a caveat that's kind of obvious, right? Like, you have to take action. I'm not one of those guys who's going to say like, yeah, you just sit back in your chair all day and just, use the power of your mind and boom, miracles happen. Although there is some truth to that, you need to take action for sure. But the thing is we want to align your actions with the power of your mind. The problem is that most people completely overlook the real cause of the efficacy of their actions. So why are some of your actions successful? Why do they appear to work so well when it comes to making more money or getting out of debt or paying your bills better, whatever it is? And other actions feel like they just completely come up short. Why is that? Most people have no idea. They're just like, well, I just need to try harder. I need to get busier. I need to take more action. No, you don't. You need to get to the real source, which is the way that your mind is wired. Once you understand this at a causal root level, everything else changes. Your actions will be so much more powerful and effective, okay? All right, so before I jump into these 3 steps, just real quick, who am I? Why am I qualified to share this kind of information with you? Well, my name is Kevin Doherty, in case I am new to you, and I'm a mindset and marketing coach. I've had the good fortune of helping thousands and thousands of people all over the world with my books, group coaching programs, digital programs, and so on since 2005. So I've been doing this a long time. Since 2001, and for many, many years, I had a private practice seeing clients as an acupuncturist, and I taught a lot of guided meditation, stress reduction, very interesting work. Now, for the past several years, I've just been an online business coach. I love the digital nomad lifestyle. I love lifestyle freedom and the flexibility of, location independence. I love all of that. It really resonates with me. So I absolutely love what I do. And it's just so awesome to see these people that I work with making these core changes that lead to the actual life that they want. So that's a little bit about my background. I've also written a few books and ebooks. I'm the author of my most recent book, The Instant Upgrade, and I also have another book out called The Purpose Principle. This is the most important thing here, I have used these steps in my life to achieve some staggering things in my business. I have taken my business in certain ways to to a place that I think leaves a lot of people scratching their head, like, how the heck does this guy do this stuff? I'm going to share a quick story with you that really drives the principles of this webinar home for you. But I just want you to know, like, this is stuff that I live by. I breathe this stuff. I've used my life as a laboratory for this. And a lot of it's just out of necessity. As an entrepreneur with kids that I support and, a lifestyle that I want to create, I am just so passionate about optimizing my mind to create the life that I really want. So what I've discovered in my own experience, and it just becomes more and more clear to me, is that my inner consciousness and my outer reality are one and the same. So I want you to really hear that when I say that. What you're seeing in your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner consciousness. They are one and the same. And when you really start to experience this in your direct reality, everything changes for you. So I've had some really amazing, astonishing results in my business doing exactly that. Couple examples. Just at the time of shooting this video, this most recent summer, I was basically able to take the whole summer off after launching some very successful programs and just work on kind of healing myself, healing my life, getting like a higher level of awareness and flow going, and really driving these principles home in my daily life. It has been an amazing journey for me, and I feel so grateful to be able to do that. And really, the second one I want to share with you is this quick story. So I do a lot of like product launches in my business. In case that's a new term for you, it's basically like a digital course, an online program that I sell using social media, advertising, Facebook, YouTube, all of that good stuff. So one of my most recent launches, I used these principles that I'm about to share with you. And I did a launch of a new program that generated about $110,000 in revenue within a week. Depending on where you're at in your life right now, that may or may not be a lot of money. For most of you, it is. It's quite a bit more than what you'd be accustomed to. But what you'll see in this presentation is money is entirely fluid. It's just energy. There's nothing static or solid about money. You can literally make as much of it as you want. Most people just don't believe that that's true. So they continually reinforce a reality that says, hey, I only make 50,000 a year or 30,000 or whatever it is. But it's all fluid. It's all 100% based on what you believe to be true. So this was one of my most recent launches. And I wanted to share another like counter example to this, that the next month, a month later, I use the exact same marketing strategies, but I basically ignored all of these principles that I'm sharing with you today, and I only generated $4,000. And I was really disappointed and kind of crushed by that, honestly, riding the entrepreneurial roller coaster, as some of you know about. But why did this happen? $110,000 in one month, used the exact same outer strategies, marketing approaches, and it only yielded $4,000 in the following month. It really hit me like a ton of bricks. I had completely ignored what I'm about to share with you. I was not doing the inner work. I was not aligned. What happened is I did this big launch, and then I created this kind of monster from the launch. Like, I got so many clients from it that I got a little burned out from it. I got a little bit off center, and then I tried to emulate the same approach using the same marketing. And I'm like, well, it's obviously going to work the exact same way. No, it wouldn't. It worked barely at all because my energy was off, and I was focused on lack and scarcity and stress and overwhelm rather than being in a state of creative flow and passion and alignment. So this is a clear example that your energy is really what determines your net worth. It determines your income. And the problem is that most people have a very set point for their energy. They're resonating. They're in a frequency that does not change much. And so, in my experience, what I've realized is that my energy can be extremely fluid and dynamic. I can hover between extremes of just pure inspiration and abundance and joy, and then I've had other experiences where it's kind of the opposite of that as a business owner, and just feeling kind of drained and stagnant and overwhelmed. And my money situation always directly reflects that. So I've had many other launches where I've used these principles to just create some staggering results. And just over and over again, I see like this is really what matters. This is the direct cause of the success that I'm looking for. Like I said, it's not just about action. It's about the efficacy of those actions. Where is that coming from? And that's what we're getting into here. It's coming from your own consciousness, okay? So that's a little bit about me. I could go on and on about my story, but I will spare you the details. But I just wanted to say, like, I'm super passionate about this stuff, and I have lived it at a very deep level. I've coached on it on a very deep level as well. Now, get ready. What I'm about to share is not for the faint of heart. These 3 steps are literally mind blowing in that they are designed to blow apart your fixed beliefs around money, along with many other things. They are meant to blow your mind because it is your current construct of reality in your mind that is keeping you stuck, that is keeping you at this set point with money that you can't seem to break free from. So if you're not ready for that, if you don't want your mind blown, if you're comfortable with the status quo, you can turn this video off right now. This is not for you. You're probably here right now because you're ready for some of this. You want a little taste of magic, an infusion of your pure power in your life to really feel what's possible for you. So let's keep going if that is you. So I also want you to know today is just the beginning. These principles are profound. They are designed to help you see yourself and your existence with more clarity and truth. Yes, this is about money, but it's also not about money. This is about you, and it's about your existence, your deep core self, your identity. That's what we're getting into in this presentation. Money is a direct reflection of that, okay? So we could isolate any of life's major themes, whether it's relationships, health, and so on, and really come at it in a similar way. We're just talking about money in this one because that's where I feel inspired to help you in this particular video. So please know, I can only cover the fundamentals. Stay tuned to the end of the video to learn how I can help you integrate these steps so that they truly do become second nature. There's so much I can say about this topic, and I will say more about it. I'll share more about the details of that coming soon, but we're just getting into the fundamentals here, the kind of basics, if you will, to kind of plant these seeds for you so it starts to open up a new way to see yourself in your reality. Last word of warning, the power of what I'm about to share can only come through direct experience, not through ideas and concepts. So if all of this only stays on an idea level for you, it really won't do much. It can plant some seeds. And like I said, ideas can plant seeds for you. Then it's about awakening these principles within yourself so that they permeate your daily life. What happens to a lot of people with this kind of information is it really does only stay at an idea and concept level. And while that can be an initial important entry point into this, it's not really going to transform your life. It has to get into your body. It has to get into your cells. It has to get into your deeper beliefs and your daily experience of living. That's where you're going to see true transformation, okay? All right. So with that said, buckle up. Let's go. 3 steps to rewire your mind for abundance. Step number 1, surrender to your current reality. Surrender to your current reality. Why do I start here? Well, here's the truth. You cannot create something new if you resist what's here now. It's as simple as that. And the problem that most people have, if they're really honest, is that they resist their current reality. They resist their financial situation. They don't like it. They judge it. They fight against it. They look at their bank statement. They look at their debt. They look at the lack of their desired revenue coming in, and they think it sucks. They think it's terrible. And this used to be me too. It brings up all kinds of difficult, painful emotions, and it just creates this cycle of despair, a very difficult scarcity-based energy. So if that's the cycle, it'll only continue if resistance is intact. So here's the thing. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, which can be very dangerous. I want you to take that statement in. It sounds a little kind of ironic or paradoxical, but it's 100% true. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, but it is often very, very dangerous. Most of us are risk averse. Most of us do not like change. We don't like newness. We do not like uncertainty. And that's coming from the way that our brain is wired. Our brain is wired in a way that we are oriented towards what's familiar. We want to stay there at all costs, even if our current reality does not feel very good. Our brain is wired to keep us there because it feels safe to us. It's what's familiar. So what happens is your brain is wired to keep you safe, and it keeps you safe by resisting your current reality, by popping in all kinds of judgments, all kinds of evidence about why you are unworthy. It looks at a lot of evidence from your past, and it says, see, I told you I can't do this. It looks at these like fleeting beliefs and opinions that you have about yourself and your life. And you get attached to these things. You think that these things, these are risings of energy and these different mental forms, you think these things are you. You think that, oh, this is me believing this about myself. And what this does is it guarantees more of the same. It guarantees that you will lock in the same patterns because every time you believe in your resistance, you are wiring your brain for more of the same. Your brain is working against you. You see, you have to realize you are not your brain. Your brain is designed to be your servant, not your master. And for most people, they have this backwards. Their brain is dominating their life in terms of unconscious patterns, unconscious beliefs and attitudes that simply do not serve them. And if you hold on to those patterns, you are steeped in resistance of your life. You are fighting against your current reality. You are banging your head against your circumstances by judging them, and you are inevitably creating more of the same. It's very much like a cosmic riddle that you have to solve for yourself. Does that make sense? You have to get to a place where you can pull your identity out of this cycle, out of this pattern, and see what's really, really true about your human situation. So, surrender is a process of forgiveness, awareness, and letting go. That's really what's entailed in surrender. You must forgive yourself for your past mistakes and for any current financial struggles. You must be able to look at your bank statement, at the state of your business, at any debt that you're carrying, whatever it is. You must be able to look at these different aspects of your life and extend genuine forgiveness to them and deeply accept your current situation. That is the entry point to any kind of real lasting transformation in your life. If you try to bypass this, it will not work. There is a deep process of surrender, forgiveness, and letting go that we all must go through as human beings in order to create the life that we really want. Now, this begs the question, how and why would I do this? I don't like my current circumstances. I'm not happy with my money situation. I've made a ton of mistakes, most likely. I feel like I've really screwed things up, not only once, not only twice, but maybe like thousands of times. I've continued the same cycles. I've hurt my family members. I've betrayed people in the past. I've done things wrong in this litany of self-judgment, these stories that we have about ourselves. So why would I do this, and how do I do this? They're kind of one and the same question, okay? So here's my take on this. And this is a very, very deep question because there are a lot of band-aids out there about forgiveness and about surrender. Oh, just say this to yourself 25,000 times and you'll get over it. I love myself. I accept myself. I love myself. I accept myself. And you're like, nope, not feeling it. It doesn't really work, right? Now, there is a place for affirmations like that. They can be extremely powerful. But first, to activate the power of phrases like that, you have to go deeper. So you have to get to the truth. That's the only solution, you guys. You have to get to the truth of who you are as a human being and what your purpose is. You came here as a human being to experience contrast. What that means is you came here to dwell in the appearance of struggle, limitation, flaws, and mistakes. All human beings go through this where they feel like they've screwed up. They've made a ton of mistakes. They're limited. They're flawed. You came here as a human being to experience that contrast. It's integral to your life story, to your purpose. Think about it. What makes any good movie or novel worth reading or seeing? It's the flaws and the imperfections and the mistakes that the main character makes and how they transcend all of that and become the hero of their own story, right? If you didn't have monumental screw ups in your life, if you didn't feel so flawed and like things were kind of hopeless a lot of the time, there would really be no juice, no enriching kind of friction and just entertainment value in your story. You must have this in order to experience your real power and potential. Think of it from the point of view of duality. You can't really taste freedom and happiness until you know profoundly what suffering and limitation feel like. You came here as a human to experience that, to know that contrast, because who you really are is infinitely powerful. You came here to play this fun game of pretending like you have all these flaws. And money is just a great way to do that. It's a great symbol to lock in those limitations. This was built into the design of your human existence. It is integral to your story. So if you fight it, if you judge it, you're going against the very nature of your purpose for being here. And this truth, if you really allow it to settle into your being on a deeper level, it frees you up. It allows you to finally access true forgiveness, to allow yourself to taste the joy of who you really are, which is indeed an infinite being having a human experience. The purpose of your life is to evolve out of suffering and into freedom. I mean, there are many ways to say this, but that kind of sums it up: to evolve out of suffering and into freedom, to turn yourself into the kind of person who can enjoy lots and lots of money, who can experience financial abundance, and who has transcended their past, evolved out of their past struggles and limits. In other words, you came here to become the hero of your own story, the hero's journey, right? That is essentially why you are here. Now, depending on where you're at right now in your life, you might be just fully like immersed in the struggle of your story. You might be heavily identified with that. You might be in a transitional state right now where you're starting to have these breaks in the cloud cover of your life. You're starting to see through it and you're starting to get into the sunshine more. You're starting to see what your essential nature is. So, in my experience, I've gone through all of this. I've been mired in suffering and despair in my past. I've had massive struggles in my past around depression and anxiety. I've tied some of that to money and tied some of that to many other issues for sure. But the key here is it's not about money, it's not about external things, it's about you. And you came here to get enveloped in the struggle and to know deeply what that experience was like, and then to learn for yourself how to transcend it and how to create a reality where you start to see that mirrored back to you more and more. That is why you're watching this video right now. Life, universal intelligence took you here to this particular place to watch this video by this funny character named Kevin, who's guiding you through this process. Isn't that quite miraculous? There is a definite synchronicity at work, and I encourage you to lean into that way of seeing it because it's actually true. Money, once again, is a very, very powerful catalyst that helps you do exactly this. It helps you, it supports you in becoming the hero of your own story. It supports you first and foremost in believing that you're limited and that you need to struggle and that life is a burden. And then it helps you to really get real with yourself and go deeper and get to the truth of your actual human situation. Money is a wonderful tool to do this. So if you think that money is anti-spiritual or it's like some sort of like just superficial vice in life, that belief alone is going to repel money. It's going to cause you to financially struggle a lot, and it's completely an illusion. So, hitting on that theme a little bit more, limiting beliefs strengthen that resistance we talked about and convince you that change is impossible. And we have all been indoctrinated with limiting beliefs from our very young age, from parents, schools, religious institutions, the media, advertising companies. Instilling I'm not good enough constantly. So let's just go through a quick list of some of these limiting money beliefs. Money is evil or anti-spiritual. Money doesn't grow on trees. The only way to become rich is through painful sacrifice and backbreaking work. I don't deserve to be wealthy. I mean, we can come up with countless examples of why money is a massive problem in life and why we should resist it and not appreciate it, right? Or just devalue it, not see it as relevant or that necessary. So I think it was Zig Ziglar that said, money is money is not everything, but it's right up there with oxygen in terms of its importance for human beings. That's a huge misquote of that quote, but it's something like that. So true, right? I mean, think of your life. If you have kids, you're trying to provide an enriching life for them. You're trying to fund their education in different ways. You're trying to give your family meaningful adventures. The more money you make, the more you're able to help people in the world, the more options you have. If you're a business owner, my goodness, money is the lifeblood of your business. It enables you to make way more of an impact. I mean, it's just obvious that money, it can be a wonderful ally in your life if you believe that that is what's true, right? Now, surrender can only come when you realize the truth of your human situation. You know why you have struggled and the deeper spiritual purpose of your life. So I want you to really reflect on that. Get truthful with yourself about who you really are and what your real purpose is and how money has fit into that purpose, how you've convinced yourself that you're limited, and how now you're starting to get these seeds planted in you of like, oh, okay, maybe all of this really is fluid and open, and I am not nearly as static in these beliefs and these thoughts about myself as I thought I was. It's really cool. So you want to anchor that feeling of letting go into your body. Your body is like a storehouse of your collective thoughts, beliefs, opinions, attitudes about life. It stores all of this, largely in the form of holding on and trauma. So one of the things that I've been focused on a lot over the past few months, and why I've decided to kind of go on a sabbatical more or less, is to really get into my body and clear layers of just unconscious stored tension, stagnation, and trauma that we all have. And that is a process. It's a lovely, beautiful process, and one that we all can embark on for sure. But your body carries these limiting beliefs, and it carries in the form of tension, oftentimes pain, resistance, right? So getting into your body is a necessary component of letting go. Guys, there's so much more I could say about that, but let's move on to step number 2. Hopefully that plants some seeds for you about the power of surrender. Step number 2, activate your imagination. Your imagination is literally a superpower that is dwelling within you. I'm not joking about that. It's not hyperbole. It is an actual superpower. If you study like Neville Goddard's work, he says that the human imagination is God. It is divine intelligence that you can activate, that you can awaken within you. The problem is most of us were never ever taught to use our imagination. And in fact, we were taught to use the exact opposite, which is our reasoning mind, our intellect to get through life. 99.9% of adults deny this power of the imagination, and instead, like I said, they use their analytical mind to navigate through life. Now, when you're stuck in your thinking mind, you are wiring your brain to repeat the same patterns over and over again. Why is that? Well, the average human adult thinks about 65,000 thoughts every single day. About 95% of those thoughts are completely unconscious and repetitive, meaning you are unconsciously thinking the same thoughts that you had yesterday and the day before and the day before. What this does is it locks in a set reality because your brain is being wired based on unconscious patterning, where you keep repeating the same thoughts, attitudes, beliefs, and therefore the same behaviors and actions that produce the same circumstances and results ad nauseum. That's really the way life works for most of us. This is why we struggle with money, you guys. Our brain is wired against us. We have unconscious patterns that are working against us and actually repelling money from showing up in the way that we want in our life. So your imagination is the number one tool you have to rewire your brain. It's as simple as that. Your identity / self-image is the only thing creating your financial reality. What that means is whatever you believe to be true about yourself, your value, your worth, whatever you believe to be true about money, you're going to have that exactly mirrored back to you in this life. If you believe that you're worth $50,000, guess what you're going to make? Exactly that amount. The amount of money you make and have is nothing more than a mirror for what you believe to be true about yourself and your life, okay? If, like I said, if you make 50K a year, you believe this is the amount you are capable of making. This belief is woven into your identity. You think that's you in there, having the solid belief that then anchors in this solid external reality. Like I said, your inner and outer consciousness are one and the same. There's no real separation there. So whatever is going on inside of you in your belief system, you are going to see that 100% mirrored back to you in what your outer life brings. Imagination is a superpower that can help you shift into a new identity. And you can do this quickly. This does not have to take a lot of time, but it is a practice. It is a process. It's designed to be a practice, okay? So how do I do this? How do I use my imagination? So you want to ask yourself one simple question. I mean, there's so much I could say about this, you guys, but it really boils down to this one simple question. What would it feel like if I already was the person I want to be and I had all the money I want to have? What does that feel like? What would that feel like? Use your mind to live in that feeling. Okay, that's it. It's really quite simple. It's actually like just insanely simple. Like it couldn't be more simple, but this path of doing exactly this is fraught with pitfall and peril. I don't mean to sound dramatic, but it is. It totally is. And it's designed that way. It's not meant to be easy to do this. And in fact, it's designed to be one of the higher challenges that you'll experience as a human being. However, it's also designed to be 100% doable for anybody that's serious about this, that is really committed to it. So what would it feel like if you were already your ideal self, if you already had your ideal life, your ideal financial situation? Start to anchor in that feeling state as if it's here with you now. That's what you're doing when you're using your imagination. And of course, the important distinction here is that you're not doing that at some future point, like I will be this some point in the future. You start to see yourself as already this now, okay? It's in current moment reality. So there are really three powerful practices to do exactly this. There is creative visualization. And just so you know, I use all of these in my daily life very consistently, and they're all extremely powerful. Creative visualization, that's where you use your mind's eye. You project your mind into your ideal self, your ideal life. You feel those qualities and you imagine that they're here with you now, okay? The next practice is called autosuggestion. So if you read books by like Napoleon Hill, like Think and Grow Rich, he talks a lot about autosuggestion in this book, which is basically the repetition of certain phrases to induce a new state of consciousness. So I am wealthy, I am rich, I am successful, things of this nature. These are also called affirmations. Like I said, affirmations don't really have any power unless you learn the art of surrender. Once you stop the cycle of resistance in your life and you stop believing in all these negative affirmations that you're telling yourself, like money sucks, money doesn't grow on trees, blah, 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 money is evil. You stop the cycle of those negative resistance-based affirmations. Now there is infinite room and space to use the power of thought in a new way, to turn your consciousness towards thought in a deliberate fashion. Most of the time, like I said, your thoughts are completely unconscious. You have the ability as a human being to become 100% conscious of what you think about all the time during your waking hours. Trust me, you can. It's like not that far-fetched to do that. I've been able to do that. I've been stabilizing that in my daily life. It's so powerful when you just become aware of what's going on in your mind and you start thinking thoughts that you actually want to be thinking that support your life and move you forward. That's autosuggestion. The third practice is heterosuggestion. That's where you take in phrases from the external world. So you listen to other affirmations from other people, things of this nature that are repeating phrases that are aligned with your ideal life. And you repeat them a lot so that your brain starts to form new neural patterning around those suggestions. Okay. Keep in mind, your thoughts are either working for or against you constantly. And if your thoughts are unconscious, they're mostly working against you. Fear, worry, doubt, all these dark energies can only exist in unconsciousness. Once you shed the light of awareness on these like inner shadows, you can call them, they immediately vaporize because they're nothing more than like phantom energy. They're not real, but they lurk in your unconscious mind and make you feel convinced that they are real. So you're using these techniques to create more awareness, more intention, more consciousness in your daily life. And that really is the solution when it comes to anything in your life that matters: money, relationships, health, and so on. Now, this is simple, like I said, but not many do this. In fact, very, very few people do this. This is the simple process that rewires your mind and helps you shift out of lifelong patterns that do not serve you. It is simple, but like I said, there are pitfalls and challenges that you'll face in doing this, and I'll talk more about this soon. How do I use my imagination? The key here is to surrender to your current reality while living in the imagined vision of your ideal reality. There is a kind of dual force of surrender, of being, of isness, along with becoming, of actively using your mind in a new way. You can say it's yin and yang. Yin is receptive and at peace with what is and totally enjoying present moment reality and accepting of it. And then yang is about the motive force of creating what's coming next, using your imagination and pumping out new images, new ideals, new visions for your life. It's a mixture of both of those. Now, this truly is a mystical skill that has the power to transform your financial life forever, and really any area of your life. Money is just one example. And it is a mystical skill. I mean, that word is kind of misplaced a lot. It's not that big of a deal. Anybody can develop mystical skills. You just have to put your awareness there and get trained on how to do this. That's been a huge part of my life because I just love bending reality. I love intentional life creation. I think it's really amazing that we have that power as human beings. All right, so the third step, the final step that I want to share today is anchor in unconditional faith. The power of faith. As with anything new, when you start using your imagination, there is excitement and even awe of this process. You feel like you've tapped into a new portal of reality and you feel the power of it within. That's very common, where you just notice a shift in your feeling state. You're like, wow, it feels pretty amazing to imagine my ideal self and my ideal life as if it's here now. It instantly makes you feel better. It's pretty cool. And that alone is extremely therapeutic and helpful. Now, where most people get stuck is in the germination phase between their new vision and what they observe in physical reality. So, what this means is that there's going to be a gap in this 3D world that we live in between this new ideal self that you're imagining, this new ideal life, and what you see in the physical world around you. That has all been designed strategically by this kind of higher intelligence or life force so that you have the opportunity to actually become the kind of person who can handle what you're intending to create. If you could snap your fingers and have anything that you wanted, it would not work nearly as well for you as you think it would. That is mostly an ego vice inside of you that says, I want it now. It has to happen yesterday, right? Just pure impatience, right? So simply put, if people don't see immediate results, they give up and they go back to their old patterns. This is not only common, this is by far and away the normal thing that people do. It's why they don't get results. It's why they get really frustrated with these kinds of techniques, or why they become cynical about it, or they get locked into limiting beliefs around self-help, spirituality, whatever it is. It's because they give up too soon, and they get locked into some sort of story that says, oh, it's not working yet, and therefore it's not going to work, and poor me, and they throw a pity party and just go back to their mundane, boring life, that kind of stuff. So this is nothing more than your brain trying to keep you safe by locking in the familiar and denying the new. Your brain is very, very clever at doing this. Impatience is one of its most clever ploys to ensure you don't make lasting change. It is designed within your brain so that you don't change, so that you don't taste uncertainty or newness. Because once again, your brain is wired in a primitive sense to totally prevent you from doing that, because your brain interprets it as dangerous, right? So you have to be able to recognize not only this pitfall, but there are many others that can occur. And that's part of why I wanted to share this presentation with you, is because I've gone through these pitfalls. I've gotten stuck in them before. And I've also, especially more recently, been able to completely bust through them and just keep ascending and kind of evolving to higher levels of understanding in this way. So faith is the antidote to all of this. You can actually wire your brain to develop faith through the power of your imagination. Now, it's important to realize that who you become in this process is far more important than money. Like I said, the money is great. Having more love in your life, more money, more a better body, like whatever it is that you think you want. All these things are what lovely, wonderful accomplishments that we can create as human beings. However, they are all just icing on the cake. The really important factor here is the person that you become. Who are you evolving into? And once you become, once you evolve into the kind of person, the identity of someone who is actually at their core financially free and wealthy, well, guess what? You can now handle money in your life. You can handle a lot more of it coming in. If you haven't stabilized that higher level of consciousness yet, it's not going to happen. You might make more money temporarily, but then you'll lose it. You'll mismanage it. It'll stress you out. You'll worry about it, things like this. So if you want financial freedom, you must shift into the identity of one who is equipped for it. So think of it this way. There's a reason winning the lottery makes most people miserable. And they've done a lot of studies on this. It's fascinating. But they've proven that, people that win the lottery by and large lose their entire savings, and a lot of them go bankrupt or go into debt within 7 years. And it doesn't matter how much it is. It can be like $300 million, something crazy like that. They still lose most of the money, if not all of it. And it makes them miserable. It makes them unhappy. Why? Because having money just makes you more of who you already are. That's why you want to do this inner work, expand your consciousness, and create a blueprint internally where you can stabilize money, where it becomes a true source of alignment in your life. Anchoring in faith enables you to become a new person and to create the environment where you can handle and sustain newfound wealth. So there's so much more I could say about this, you guys, but I know time is already running short here. Here's the main point. Your life is wide open. It is infinite. You can literally create whatever you want here. It doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter how many times you've screwed up. I hope you're starting to feel the truth of that. Like, I don't want this to just be some rah motivational video. Like, oh, that felt kind of good for 2 minutes, and then I'm back in, the same crap. I want you to really feel something shift in you right now, that you are an infinite being having a human experience. You have infinite potential in front of you. And however you see yourself, wherever your focus goes, is where you're steering the ship of your reality. Okay. You can steer it in whatever way you want, but it's up to you to take creative control, to take the helm of your life, creatively speaking, and start plant these seeds where money just becomes a natural consequence, a natural byproduct of these wonderful seeds that you're planting inside of yourself. So the only way to create financial abundance is to rewire your brain in this way. And it takes practice. It takes commitment. There's no way around that. This is one of the most rewarding things you can possibly do for yourself, but it's not for everyone. If you're only mildly interested, but you're not committed, if you believe in your excuses more than your infinite potential, if you are convinced that your past and your limits are just who you are, or if you think like the inner cynic or skeptic is just, that's just who I am, and I go into kind of stuff like this with my, my arms and legs crossed and just like, you're kind of guilty until proven innocent, then this is not for you. You have to go into it with a little more openness than that. I can't help you. And in fact, nobody can help in that situation. The entry point into true transformation is openness, it's humility and willingness. Okay. So if you're in that place, if you're still here, then it's likely the case that you are in that place. You're indeed ready for a new financial reality. So I want you to get clear for yourself right now when you're watching this video. Which path are you on? Which side of the fence are you on? Are you ready to create that new path where your life will never be the same, where you can put a permanent end to your financial struggles, where you can rewire your mind for the success and abundance that you have always longed for? That choice is yours. I cannot make that choice for you, but I want you, before you leave this video, to make a clear, conscious choice right now, okay? Now, as I mentioned, this three-step process is very, very simple. In fact, if it feels complicated, something is off in the approach. Very few modern people are even aware of this approach. And if they are, only a tiny fraction actually live it in daily life. Now, many try to walk this path, but they stumble. They inevitably return to their old ways, as I mentioned. Now, while simple, this path is fraught with pitfalls, and all of them are coming from within you. It's not the external path that is full of pitfalls, it's within you. It's your own brain, the way it's wired, the way it tries to pull you out of your own evolution, the way it tries to keep you safe. The stories, the excuses, the limiting beliefs you keep telling yourself, the way you attach to those things, those are the pitfalls. And those are the areas that all of us need help navigating through and making sure that we literally become unstoppable in this path to achieving financial freedom, to creating it in our life. Now, this is why we see so much evidence of financial pain and limitation in our world, and so little evidence of freedom and abundance. It makes sense now, right? It's like people are wired for this stuff, and they're also wired to stay stuck exactly where they are. Their brain is trying to keep them safe. This is why it's crucial to have a structured, detailed, proven process to anchor in this new way of being and guarantee that you will tap into a higher frequency of reality where abundance is the norm in that reality. Like I said, it's just a natural byproduct of you doing the inner work, expanding your consciousness, and living in a new frequency of life, of reality, where making money becomes easy. Creating it, attracting it becomes infinitely easier than the old way of willpower and force. Now, with that said, I have a special invitation for you today. If you've resonated with the content that I've shared with you in this video, this is going to be an amazing opportunity for you. So I want to help you. I want to help you master these three steps so that you become the intentional, powerful, and deliberate creator of your own life. Now, this means ending your money struggles once and for all and finally tasting the reality of financial abundance without force or willpower. So imagine, I want you to close your eyes right now and just imagine this and let this sink into your heart, okay? What would it really feel like to end the worry around money, to end it? I can tell you from my own experience, it feels freaking amazing to no longer feel that dark cloud hovering over you of money worry, of money burden, of money obligation that feels negative. Money stress. Oh, just clear it out. It feels amazing to be able to do that. Imagine the feeling of money being an ally instead of an enemy in your life. How would it feel if you saw money as a friend instead of an enemy, instead of something that is here to hinder your progress or your happiness? That is a beautiful feeling. And you must have these feelings. You must anchor these feelings in order to welcome in higher levels of financial success. There's no way around it. How would it feel to live in a state of flow where money comes easily into your life? So many of us have been brainwashed to believe that money is hard. Making money is hard. You have to work really, 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 really hard to make money. How would it be for you if there was a state of ease where money became synonymous with ease in your life? I've had so many just uncanny, mystical experiences of feeling like I was creating money, like almost literally out of thin air in my life, in my business. And it's all from what I'm talking about here. It's because I just know and I believe that that's true. That's just the way things operate in this illusion of physical reality. We can create whatever we want here, and it's all based on what our inner consciousness is doing. So here's the raw truth. Most people, they give up on this dream. They buy into their limits. They tell a story that this is just the way things are. You know that story, right? Where it sinks you back down into the mundanity, the boredom, the stupor, the routine, the superficiality of daily life, and you start to convince yourself this is all there is. And here I'm telling you guys, that's not all there is. There's this whole mystical, invisible power source that we can all tap into, that's dwelling within us, that is just absolutely incredible. And it has infinite miracles to offer us. But we won't get there unless we get out of our own way, unless we get the guidance that we need to make that our daily life, okay? So most people never rewire their mind, which is always the solution hidden in plain sight. And it is hidden in plain sight. This is obvious. It's really clear that this is what everybody needs to do if they want to be financially free. They have to rewire their mind for financial freedom. But most people never, ever do it. So you are here because you know deep down in your soul that more is possible for you. You just need a roadmap to actualize it. You're tired of trying so hard and buying into the conventional wisdom. You've seen where that gets you. So all the tried and true money stories out there and mantras and philosophies people have about money, aren't you just sick of it? Aren't you just sick of like save for a rainy day and maybe 40 years down the road you'll be wealthy? You just have to sacrifice everything if you want to be successful. That's just the way it is. I mean, doesn't this just feel exhausting at a certain point? That's probably where you're at right now. And that's why you're still here watching this video. So here's how I can help. I have a new 6-week online course called Expand Your Mind, Expand Your Money. This is an online course that you can join from literally anywhere in the world. Okay, so wherever you live, you are more than welcome to join this course if you meet those criteria of being committed, of being serious about this and ready to do this inner work. This course will show you exactly, step by step, how to rewire your mind and shift your identity so that you can permanently end patterns of financial struggle and tap into an entirely new reality of abundance and flow. So here's what you get in the 6-week course. It's 6 weeks of online video training modules delivered sequentially in a secure online members area. So every week you'll get new videos added. Those videos will range anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours of content a week. So you'll have plenty to sift through there. It'll be very deep, very rich, but also very actionable content. And that's what I'm very gifted at as a teacher and coach, is creating content that sparks deeper truths and stretches your thinking and expands your consciousness, but is also highly actionable. This is meant to be very practical. And that's the beautiful kind of fusion we're looking for here. That's where the magic happens, where you really feel like I can do this without any guesswork. It's more or less kind of plug and play. You're going to get a series of guided meditations that will take out all of the guesswork. So you can rewire your mind on autopilot. You're just going to spend a few minutes a day listening to these guided meditations that I created for you, and you're going to let them work their magic. Now, like I said, I've worked with thousands of clients in a lot of different contexts, a lot of different programs. And I've had so many people say that these guided practices have totally changed their lives. And still years later, many of my clients listen to these meditations daily. They just love them. And they can feel tangibly the shifts that they make in their own consciousness, and just how they lead to more confidence, more, more states of flow, clarity, productivity, all these lovely attributes that we want in order to scale our income, right? So these are really powerful. I use them a lot in my daily life. And the ones that you're getting in this program are my newest iterations of these, so to speak, and they are the most powerful. You're going to love them. You're also going to get 2 live Q&A webinars with me where you can ask me anything. Now, this is a really important and super valuable part of this course. So I'm not just going to like leave you out there high and dry and just take the information and just say good luck with that. You're going to have the opportunity to get on a couple of webinars with me and get your questions answered. So like I said, this path, it's simple, but it is fraught with challenges, and they're all coming from within you. Your brain is designed to offer these challenges. Your very existence is designed to. So because I have navigated through these challenges successfully in my own life, and I've helped so many people with this, there's a very good chance I can do this with you and for you, okay? Where I can just guide you out of those pitfalls and make sure that you're staying on the path. I can clear up any areas of confusion and just make sure there's like a deep level of clarity and strength and inspiration moving forward on this journey. You're also going to get supportive weekly emails that will reinforce crucial points. Now, these are only for members of this program. So these are going to be content-rich emails that will really ground in some of the main principles. They're going to keep you inspired and accountable, and they're going to deepen your learning and your self-awareness. Plus, there's going to be some extra cool stuff that you'll get. Let's go through that. You're going to get a few bonuses. You'll get access to a series of 4 very powerful videos from my program, The Liberated Life. This was originally a coaching program that I did that I took about 100 entrepreneurs through over a year, where we went really, really deep into expanding consciousness, into higher levels of empowerment and awareness, and restructuring reality so it aligns with their highest vision. So I'm going to give you 4 of the best videos from that program. That program was originally $1,000, so you're going to get some of the very best content out of that. So that definitely has a high level value with it. You'll get a bonus training video that will walk you through how I make money online with some very simple action steps. So if you want some practical money-making action steps, you're going to get that too. So like I said, the premise of this program is consciousness expansion. Expand your mind, expand your money. However, I want to give you everything that I can to ensure that you absolutely do increase your income quickly. So if you're interested in sharing your knowledge and talent with the world and monetizing your expertise and passion, that's exactly what I do. That's what I've been doing for years. And I'll show you the most simple, the most efficient, direct path to doing that. I'll walk you through step by step exactly how I do what I do. And anybody can do it. It's just a matter of, once again, if you're serious about it and you're committed, you can definitely make that work. You'll get lifelong access to all of the training as well. So it's not going to come down anytime soon. You will have it for as long as I exist, for as long as the internet exists, all that good stuff, okay? So you can watch it on your own schedule, on your own time. So I want you to reflect, like, if you take a look at that content and where we're going with this, what is this all worth to you? I invite you to consider how much it's worth to transform your financial life forever. What is that worth to you? I mean, if you had to put a dollar amount to it, it's kind of difficult to even put an estimate on, right? To get out of your own way and finally experience the reality of abundance in your life. It's priceless, right? I mean, it truly is. What we're getting at here is it's not just about money. This is about you living your ideal life and creating your ideal self. And we're just going to use money as a main reference point for doing that. What is that worth to you? I mean, this is your life you're talking about. This is your very existence. So hopefully you see some value there. If you felt stuck, if you felt like things aren't moving the way that you want, what would it be worth to you to actually reprogram your mind and your reality so you start creating more of what you want quickly? It's priceless. So here's your investment if you want to join me in this 6-week course. Most of my programs routinely sell for around $997 to $3,000. Over many years, that's generally where I've priced my stuff at. And the reason is because I know that for most people, the higher I price it, the more commitment there is. I get better quality clients, people that have more skin in the game, and they're ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work. And that's generally true. You know, the people that invest at a higher price point, just being very honest with you, they generally are more committed and they show up and they take more action. Now, this course is easily worth that amount. But with this particular content, I mean, this is very, very special content to me. I am on a mission to help as many people as possible because I know for a fact that this this is the stuff we all should have learned growing up. And it's why so many people in our modern world are suffering. It's because they don't have access to this content. It truly is priceless. So I decided to bring you in for a substantial discount from my normal tuition. You can join this course and get full access for only $297. That includes everything that I just mentioned. It includes the 6 weeks of video modules, the guided meditations, the 2 Q&A webinars with me. So there is like some private coaching there on those webinars where I'll help you step by step. It includes the bonuses, everything, lifelong access to all the material. It's only $297, okay? It's just a simple one-time payment. There's no hidden upsells or any of that sneaky stuff, I promise. I'm not a huge fan of that myself. So it's just what you see is what you get. And all that you need to do if you want to join me in this course is go to this link, www.theinstantupgrade.com/join. Okay, that's the link to go to, www.theinstantupgrade.com/join. Now you should see, if you scroll down on this page you're on right now, most likely you'll see some information, like a link you can click on to take you to that page. You just click that link, and all the details of the program, what's included, all of it is just sitting right there. When it starts, just check that link out. It'll have all the information that you need. So all of the program details are on that page. Go there right now to secure your spot, theinstantupgrade.com/join. And that is all I have for you today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. You've gotten a tremendous amount of value from it. If you have enjoyed it and your intuition is telling you that there's something here for you, that there is something to be explored in doing deeper work with me, I invite you to lean into that. That is a green light from a higher consciousness within you that is saying, yes, it is time for you to do this work on yourself. It is time to get out of your own way. It is time to actually step into the reality, the frequency of abundance, so you can create the money and the lifestyle and the freedom that you absolutely deserve and desire. Okay. So go to that link, theinstantupgrade.com/join. Look at the program details there, get yourself signed up. And I'm super excited to work with you if you are joining. And either way, I just wish you the very best. Thank you for watching this video. And I wish you the best on your journey. And that is it. Bye for now and have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.